Give me 1 second here. I'll be live in just 1 second. Oh, shit. Fuck is all going on here? Yeah, I'm riding through the hood this morning. I'm riding through the hood this morning, and I see dead people. Could be 11 for 11. I think DC is 10 for 10. This could have been 11 for 11 here. 11 dead bodies, 11 days. And so I was passing by the dead body, and the police, and they like, yo, can you keep pushing on, man? It's families and shit here, you know. Respect the family. I said, nigga dead. Shit, the respect is for the living. Shit. These fucking niggas out here killing people ain't respecting nobody. You telling me to respect them? Okay, all right. See how that works out. Hold your thought for a second. I figure I should roll up a joint before I even get started here. So give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Where's the weed at? Nigga, where's the weed at? Nigga, where's the weed at? So the nigga looking for him. You can't seem to find it. Where the fuck is the weed at? I think I found it. Okay, it's perfect. Shit. I think I found it. You know, I was riding around through Southeast DC today, and ran into a dead body. The police are out there, the family, you know, freaking out and shit. Of course, early morning. I don't know if he was killed or he died or what. You know, not necessarily the best neighborhood, so you never know. But we'll get into that, a little bit of that. Yeah, I'm not going to be here very long today because we have a street interviews later this evening, right? We have street interviews. We're going to be doing that at where are we going to be doing the street interviews at? Buddies. That's right. Buddies. We're going to do some street interviews at Buddies. We decided that yesterday, so we'll try that, see how that works at Buddies. I think it'll go well. I need to check that guy, make sure he has the internet. So I'll probably call him before we get out of here today, just to make sure he has the internet outside on the patio, and that would be perfect. Let me see if we're live here. Let me make sure we're live. And let's see who's in the chat here. Who's in the chat? Let me put this right here. Put that right there. Who's in the chat here? I am live. That's for sure. Let's see OBS. There's that. All right. Give me 1 second there. Yes, I'm riding through Southeast DC this morning. I'm like, what the fuck? I see all these police out here, and I'm like, damn, is that a dead body? And I said, did somebody kill him? They didn't want to tell me, but they putting up the police tape, so I'm assuming that he must have been murdered or something. Because if he just died, they wouldn't put up the tape there. And then, before I get out of here, I do want to talk about Stanley in South Africa yesterday, boy. I mean, you know, I was looking at some video of Durban in South Africa, and I mean, what the hell? To hear this South African president come here begging for money, and you know, just some of these blacks, they have no shame there. They have no shame, and anyway, I found it to be interesting. Let's see. What do I want to cover first? I think I want to cover this couple things I saw on Twitter. Matter of fact, let me get up on the screen though. How about that? And don't forget, we're going to be having street interviews tonight. We're going to be at this place called Buddies DC, and I'll share that with you here. Buddies DC. Yeah. We're going to be at Buddies tonight, so make sure you catch us here, Buddies DC. You can take a look at that right there. Buddies DC live streaming, John Gall. This is Northwest DC. This is not far from some of my properties in Petworth, Northwest DC. It's a black guy that actually owns the place here, so we should, should have a good time here. See how it all works out. Buddies DC Sports Bar, indoor outdoor seating. You're gonna see some of the outdoor seating there. Yeah. It should be very nice. It should be very nice indeed. So we're gonna be there tonight, buddies. He's open late, so we'll see how late it goes, how late it can get. And that's what we be, buddies, today. And then let me see if I can share with you. I better start closing down some of these tabs, StreamYards. It wants to complain really badly. And I close down everything except for buddies. And then I'm gonna go to my Twitter for a second. A couple tweets. I'll share with you a couple tweets here. What's up, Radio Foreman? So I'm riding through Southeast today, and I go a different route every day just to get a good idea of what's going on all around me here. And so I bumped into this apartment building. Oh shit! I bumped into this apartment building, kind of in between some of my properties here. And let's see, and that's it. That's the dead man. You can see the dead man behind me there. I thought I had a video. Yeah, but the dead man is there. He's behind me. This is a ghetto apartment building. Not exactly sure what happened to him. Let's see, did I upload the video? Let me see if I can upload the video. Oh, let me see if that didn't. Oh, it's uploading now. And then the video would come up a little bit later. So I was on my way to 7-Eleven and I saw this guy here. Oh, it looks like the video's up there. Okay, give me 1 minute. 1 minute, the video's there. Let me just refresh. And this is Southeast DC. I think this is Mississippi Avenue. So we're gonna see if a murder or something happened over there. We'll look that up. And you can see kind of some live video there. Yeah. That's fucking crazy, bro.
Please leave. You're blocking.
That's fucking crazy, bro. Early in the morning. Must have been about 9:30, give or take. Dead body out there. Probably somebody. I don't know what happened to him. Not sure what happened to this guy. We're gonna look it up, see in the news. There was a couple other things. I saw Stanley yesterday talking about the South African president. And, I'm not sure if Stanley knows a lot about South Africa or not. But if he did, he should be looking at that and saying, damn, I can't believe these South African president and his delegation came over here with all the problems that they have in their country and not willing to acknowledge it, and the media seemingly covers up for it. So we'll see what it looks like in some parts of South Africa. But it was something I wanted to see. Let me see. What is this? Lumumba. I remember Lumumba. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, there was something about South Africa. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Where is it? I want to see it. I think it's from Trump's video yesterday. Let me see it. The White House. Whitehouse.gov. Whitehouse.gov. And I couldn't believe Stanley didn't notice this yesterday. .gov. There's a couple things you may have noticed there. Let's see, South African. Let's see. Where's the South African speech? I think it was on the, let me see, whitehouse.gov. South Africa. I want to get to that. I thought I saved it somewhere. Yeah, President's right about what's happening in South Africa. And let's see. Yeah, here it is here. So this is the White House website here. And yesterday, President Ramaphosa from South Africa came to talk to Donald Trump. And we all know Trump has been bringing in the South Africans. He brought in about 50 of them. They say they're getting more or less tormented, genocided in South Africa. And so there's a couple of things I want to share with you. Things about
Ages as golfers and so forth. So what I'm trying to say is, this has been a long time coming. That's why we really wanted to meet you, meet the administration, and see our way forward, because we still want to see our country flourish. We've got some great things going on. Business is getting involved.
I think it's right here.
OSHA's the US. It's always been an ally of South Africa for a very long time. Even in the days of the...
And Malema. You'll see it, sir.
Yeah.
He marched on the
But
farm.
the crime is bad.
The crime is terrible, sir, but Mr. Steenhuisen won't admit to it, but he runs the Western Cape, where I live. And the biggest murder rate is in the Cape Flats. Gangs. We've got gang warfare. Like your M33 or what?
What's interesting about this, to me, having some, understanding of South Africa, like, this man here, he's a businessman. He benefits from all the bullshit going on in South Africa, guarantee you. He's not running around being threatened and chased and killed. He's a businessman. He can't basically just undress South Africa in front of the president and his other delegation that he's doing business with. This is diplomacy. This is a white man. This is a white man doing diplomacy as a businessman. He can't embarrass these people, these African delegation people. But the African woman, you're gonna see her let something slip here. Listen.
We've got the equivalents there, but we need your help, sir.
That right there, if Stanley was being honest yesterday, or any of the blacks being honest, you got a white man, businessman, a citizen of South Africa. He's got the ear of the South African president, but he's saying, nigga, I need Donald Trump's help. Ramaphosa should have been embarrassed. But it's very, very difficult to embarrass these niggas. Maybe he didn't even understand what the fuck was going on. It's just too high level. But here's his citizen bypassing his president and say, Donald Trump, we need you, man.
And we need Elon technology.
And we need Elon's technology, because the niggas in South Africa can't not build a Starlink. Ain't no Elons in South Africa. They moved on.
Well, one of the real areas of support is really in investments. We've got to grow.
Listen, we need investment. Man, like, I'm gonna get back to that. I promise you. I'm gonna get back to the video. Let me show you. Nigga, you don't need no investments. You don't need shit. All you gotta do is start with where you are. Cast down your buckets where you are, nigga. And I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you something. Let's see, Durban. We just go one video after the next.
Is it prime? Let's pick up on this now. Waste is piling up across Durban as municipal workers affiliated to SAMWU continue their over a week-long wage strike. The city of eThekwini officials have since obtained an interdict on the grounds that the mass action is illegal. Newsroom Africa's Karinda Jagmohan has this report.
The eThekwini municipal workers' strike has severely impacted service delivery and small business operations.
Terrible. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, no water, no rice.
Niggas said we ain't had water in a while. So we can't even work no more. Nigga, no water, trash piling up. Niggas ain't working. Nigga, I gotta pause that shit because he's speaking some Xhosa, Swahili or something. He's saying they were running around here yesterday throwing litter on the ground. Yeah, I think he's talking about the workers. The trash picker-uppers were throwing trash on the ground. Have mercy. We don't have water. We need water to be rich. Have mercy on my soul.
So amanzi awekho. So sikhala nje ukuthi amanzi abuye.
Yadinga nje kakhulu ukuthi kube khona.
We need a solution to this problem so that us who are self-employed can be assisted. We couldn't work yesterday because of the strike. Look at this trash, nigga. What? You need investment, nigga. You need to pick up the trash. Start that, nigga. I keep telling the niggas, start with the trash. You can't solve the trash problem. Everything else is downhill from there.
Mhlambe enye indlela engenzeka ngayo ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi nathi njengabantu abasebenzayo sikwazi ukuthi nina sibhekeleleke ngento eziningi ngoba izolo sikwazanga ukuthi sisebenze ngesimo sokuthini ngesimo se-strike and siney'ngane siyondla emndenini yethu uma ngabe kwenzeka nje kanje njengana izolo thina singakwazi ukuthi imndeni yethu siyinakele kanjani.
Citizens already struggling with water interruptions now have limited relief measures available.
You're talking about 150,000 residents that were left without a drop of water, without tankers, and without any form of relief whatsoever. None of the tankers...
No water. This nigga done left his country, came over here talking about he need investment, nigga. Dig a hole, nigga. Keep digging holes till you hit water.
None of the drivers related to these tankers wanted to come to our areas. They cited threats. Some were stabbed while bringing water to our communities. One had a gun pointed to his head, and others were just told, you will get shot at or you will be attacked if these vehicles come into these areas. So most of the tankers then turned around and went back to the various...
Wait, hold on. You said somebody they trying to take down Chaotic Stream? What would they try to do that for?
Depots, and we were left without anything.
13 protesters have been arrested, while 20 others have been suspended by the eThekwini Metro Municipality, which has...
It wouldn't surprise me, though. It's just a matter of time. Like, you keep talking about these blacks, they're not going to change. They're just going to force you to stop talking about them. And he been going real hard at the blacks for a long time, and so that wouldn't surprise me if they were trying to go at this... oh, shit, they demonetized him? Damn. For what, though? What did they demonetize him for? Damn, that's fucked up.
Salary negotiations to the bargaining council.
Nigga, I keep trying to tell people. Nigga, you heard it from me first. Nigga, I don't fuck with no middleman. Nigga, I got dope. Shit, we ain't been monetizing on this motherfucker about a month before they took the shit away from us, nigga. We kept going. Because the dope gonna sell itself, nigga. I get up here on this motherfucker, just sell my dope. Fuck it. Matter of fact, let me call some of these niggas that want the dope. Let me get through this, and then I got to sell my dope.
Oh.
So what we
hate speech? What hate speech was he giving out? Oh shit!
Can do as a city is to recall those negotiations and bring them down to our level, which is not going to happen, which is also not in accordance with the legislative framework, which really allow workers to be represented in different bargaining councils.
But Municipal Workers Union, SAMU, insists
I don't even know what the fuck they talking about right here. And then, nigga, you ain't got no water. You ain't got no fucking water. And all throughout South Africa, uncollected garbage lines the streets.
Durban has been turned into a wasteland overnight after municipal workers went on strike last Tuesday on February the 27th. The strike has resulted in uncollected garbage form part.
Look at all this fucking trash. And they think this president coming over here telling us, nigga, you don't need investment. You need to just start picking up your trash. Right? Just pick up the fucking trash. Yeah, Johannesburg, not much better. Johannesburg, rapes. Let's see. Oof. Oof. Just. Oof. Oof. Oof.
Students from the University of Johannesburg's earmarked on a march today in support on a 7-year-old rape victim.
Nigga, fuck a genocide. These motherfuckers committing suicide. If you cutting off the food and the water to yourself and you refusing any help, nigga, they need to just give back the country to the people that ran it effectively. If what they've created is starvation and you know, no water, diseases, crime, listen,
The march began at 11 a.m. from the UJ-APA campus and made its way to the SABC offices here in Auckland Park, where a formal handover of their march actually took place. The demonstration also comes as part...
You know, what's interesting, I know I'm jumping off topic here, but damn, like, shit, you know, I ain't saying Arc Nation should be suspended, but like, damn, shit, CT ain't doing no different than Arc Nation. You know, I don't get how someone could demonetize him and you know, let these other people do the same thing. You know, how the hell is it just people are attacking his stream, demanding that he get demonetized? Or what is the issue here? It's just one of those things I'm just very curious about. Someone said it may not be permanent. How the hell what did he suspend you for a couple of days? Damn, what the... I know we've been demonetized here, and you know, I don't know what the fucking reason is. They don't give you a lot of insight as to what the issue is here. But again, you know what I would say to CT and all these other people, man, like, bro, like, you can't keep getting yanked around by a middleman like this. And so what I would do is try to figure out a way for me to get away from this you know, arbitrary nature of being suspended, whatever, by YouTube. You can't run a business with people doing this to you. You just can't. You know what I'm saying? You know, it makes it very difficult to do it when people are suspending you, not good reasons, things like that. Righteous Muffin keeps talking about small hats can't do that on YouTube. You know, I saw Righteous Muffin, or I heard Righteous Muffin. I'm assuming it was him. I was listening to it on Twitter, but I'm guessing it was on YouTube. I can't remember the name of the stream, but he was there. I don't know if he was talking about small hats then, but anyway, very interesting. When was I do a stream on my dog? Shit, nigga. I ran into a nigga today on pit bulls, man, and he had two big, fierce pit bulls right by the dead body, actually. And so one of the pit bulls was not on the leash. And this motherfucker was huge. And I'm like, bro, like, why have one on the leash and not both? And so as I'm riding past the nigga on my as I'm riding past the niggas, the loose pit bulls started, you know, basically want to take off. And I'm like, dude, like, why have one on? I just don't understand these fucking blacks sometimes. So you say he has a stream asking if Righteous Muffin was a person. You know, I tend to doubt. You say Imperious. Yeah, I can see Imperious. Imperious, you know, he threatened the channel over here. I don't know why, but maybe he does this shit for sport or something like that. But again, the bigger issue here is, honestly, like, if YouTube will allow anyone to get you banned, then you know you gotta have to either toe the middle line, or you know you're very vulnerable. And I'm not quite sure if you can make a living with this level of vulnerability. I wouldn't be comfortable with this personally.
Part of ongoing efforts to raise awareness on critical issues affecting the student body as well as the community. Let's now welcome Megan Breda, Save the Children's Director of Programs, in order to weigh in on this very important matter. Megan, thank you so much for your time. Welcome. So your teams and your supporters persevered with the march today despite the horrible rainy conditions here in Auckland Park in Johannesburg. What were you calling for at this march, and were your objectives met?
Well, I think the youth are standing up and speaking out, and that's our key objective. Is we like to see our future leaders having a voice against abuse in our country and how rights are being violated every day.
Let's go into length about some of the list of your requirements as part of the memorandum and how you actually propose that we can actually better cover as the national broadcaster as well as other news agencies the story of Kwekwe and many other Kwekwes and raise even more awareness for even other victims who might not still have a voice or even enjoy the current media attention that the story is receiving.
I think what's first of all very important to say is Save the Children South Africa is representing all children in the country. The march today was led by the student body, as I understand, of the University of Johannesburg, and we commend them on that. And I think that the most important call for action is prioritizing the service delivery to children, prioritizing the reports of abuse that happen, not waiting for people having to march or people having to, bring it to media's attention, but that our police services, our social welfare services, that we actually prioritize every single case that comes our way that has to do with child abuse.
Absolutely. And Megan, I mean, moving forward, how do you suggest even deeper level of engagements as well as collaboration with not just the national broadcaster, as I said even earlier, but with all other news agencies, especially when it comes to very sensitive matters like these ones where children are involved, and a lot of consideration from the protection of privacy and information of our subjects has to be considered without, of course, compromising our duty to the public and in the advent also of social media?
I think the most important thing that we need to realize is absolutely the privacy of the child and the family is of paramount importance. The child needs to be given space to heal. But the most important steps we can take is we use these cases to bring up the bigger issue. And I think that's where broadcasters need to focus. Although we start the discussion based on the case at hand, we have the opportunity to dig deeper and to start calling for action from our police, asking for people to be held accountable, and actually, reporting more frequent. Maybe not when we see just a case in media, but inviting maybe different groups such as SAVE onto programs like you already do, but collectives where we can talk together as a sector and say this is what we're seeing across the sector, not just Save the Children, but child welfare, men and women against child abuse. There's so many of us. Media could bring us together, and let's hear that voice, and let's hear the many, many stories where our system's failing our children.
Absolutely. But Megan, maybe just talk to us about the level of sensitivity also that we need to apply when dealing with such sensitive matters.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, we're very fast to want to know the details of exactly what happened. I think that very often that becomes human nature. We want to know. But the truth of the matter is it should be enough for all of us to know that an offence has happened against that child. We do not need to see the detailed police reports at this level. That is for the courts, that is for the therapists, that's for the people who have to engage and support the family directly.
And so back to Donald Trump. Again, there's so many problems in Durban, South Africa. Oh shit, we may got a call here. Hold on, let's see who is this? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Mark.
Yeah, who's calling?
Yes, sir, this is Gavin Blake. I messaged you on Facebook under the name Sigma Type Guy.
Oh, yeah. Sigma Type Guy. Yeah, what's up?
Man, I was just really calling in reference to the room you posted. Didn't want to take your time if you were busy.
No, it's a good time. It's a great time.
I have literally maybe 5 or 10 minutes. I'm at work, but I wanted to call you in good faith to let you know I just simply was eagerly looking for a place, and my lease is up June 15th. That is recent, but the parting from my owner / landlord is in the case of him simply inviting his niece up to stay at his residence and finish in college.
Oh.
He simply rents out to 2 males, me and 2 other great guys. Understandably, he wanted his niece to have just a little freedom and a clear mind. And also, he described that he wanted to eventually sell it after her.
Oh, okay.
And then Father's Day coming up, his dad had passed. So he's just going through a lot. So he just felt like he wanted to end the lease and do his thing with his family. So we just all met, and it was understandable. So that's my case.
Yeah, where you living right now? What part of town?
Now, this residence where I stay is in Northeast DC,
Okay.
right by Bentonville Station.
By who? By where?
Bentonville Station.
Oh, Bentonville. You way out there in Northeast. Okay.
Yeah, and so like I paid $9.15 a month. It was so easy to pay. The last 14 months I was here at this particular residence, I made each payment before time. So if it's doing the first, I'm gonna give you your money 27 for the last month or 28. I had that in writing and the signature. I have my pay stubs and W-2.
Mm-hmm.
And all that to be said, it's not like you should make a decision right now. I would, of course, like to visit and meet and all that good stuff. But just so you know, I have that.
And when you working? You in school or you working?
I absolutely am working full-time. I'm a store manager at Union Kitchen at Atkinson Place on the Florida Avenue side of Northeast DC.
Yeah, I know what it is. Yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That place for 7 years, and this is.
Wait a minute.
my
You say you've been working at 7 years? That's a long time.
I've been working at my job for 7 years, man.
That's a long time. Damn. Union Kitchen. You the manager there?
I'm now a store manager. I made it the store manager.
No shit.
They have a AGM, which is assistant general manager, and a general manager. So I'm not tight yet, but I'm still getting there. Yeah, so maybe the next year or two I could be AGM.
Would you work your way up through the kitchen or something?
Yes, sir. I started off taking out trash and helping people with looking at spots to make product, because it's essentially an incubator. And let's say you had a product like cookies, and you want to rent out space to produce your product and make money in the public, somewhere that is contractually that's contractually legal for you to produce for a large amount of people, if that makes sense. Because we have a Department of Agriculture, Department of Health that may come and make sure we're legit and we have everything in order as far as food safety.
Okay.
So that's what I did for the first 2 years, and then I'll just work in our deli department.
Oh, you work in the deli? So that shit like a grocery store? Yeah. That shit like a grocery store?
It's actually an incubator for small businesses, and then it's another branch of stores with the same name that is a deli and convenience store, but it's like upscale.
You said it's upscale?
A little bit, yeah. The branches of stores that we have, the grocery stores, it's small stores. But it's called Union Kitchen. You could actually look it up.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. This shit kind of yuppie. Yeah. This shit real yuppie, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They got the blind dog cookies, the breakfast sandwiches, the loose sandwiches.
Yeah, this shit real yuppie. Like, yeah, you at work right now?
So, yeah, one of the store locations, I'm a manager at one of the locations at Atkinson Place. Yeah.
That's over there in that big development, right? All that shit. Trader Joe's, all this shit over there.
It's changed them a little bit right now up here.
What you mean?
Like you said, different developments.
Yeah, it's like Trader Joe's and all this shit.
Oh yeah, that's exactly, because that's Union Market.
Right.
That's right in the area. People think that we call Union Market, but we in the kitchen side.
Oh, okay, got you. Yeah.
And you know what? It's like I'd rather move back uptown, because I'm from Northwest. I went to Coolidge.
Okay, it's on what, 13th Street somewhere? Where's Coolidge?
I'm from 5th Street.
Okay, yeah, that Coolidge is up in Petworth, right?
Right on 5th Street, so that's Roosevelt.
Yeah,
that's
Roosevelt, right.
I went to Coolidge. But see, I'm from uptown. I'd rather move back uptown for cheaper than to move on the south side for cheaper. Which if I had to, I will, because I got to move in less than a month.
Yeah.
I'd rather that than the south side. Even if I move up there, I'm still a little closer to Trinidad. So I'm right here by Gallaudet and Trinidad and North Capitol Street. So even if I moved uptown, I could still easily get to work.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And like I of course have had one viewing a day ago.
Yeah.
I'm trying to schedule a viewing today. If I could schedule one with you this weekend or the beginning, like maybe Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
If you want to get a feel for me or something like that, that would be cool.
Yeah, anytime. Look, Did I send you the listings of all the places we got? They ain't all the
Oh
places.
no, I didn't even know he had more listens. You can send it to me, man.
All right, I'm gonna send it to you.
We can get some work done. I would love to just because I really need somewhere by June 15th, like actually to be able to move in by that time.
Yeah. I mean, you're a little early. You about we still got about a month out. But we always have.
But you know, this type of thing, if you BS, I'm trying to get this, my business done in the first week.
Right. I hear you.
All this, because this is a lot of uncertainty. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So look, I'm gonna Facebook you a link. You can take a look on YouTube. I thought I sent it to you. I did send it to you. I'm gonna send it to you again.
You might have sent it.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you again, and you click you click on that link. That ain't all the places that we have, but we have a lot.
Yeah, you send it.
All right, so we have a lot of places just like that. You can see it on YouTube right there.
That's so dope, bro.
Yeah,
so you might have something in Northeast.
Nah, only Northwest and Southeast.
That's fine. And in Southeast, if you close to East Capitol, I'm close to East Capitol.
Nah, I'm close to the like Navy Yards.
Okay.
So like Anacostia, Congress Heights. You know what I mean? Okay. Off the green line. Yeah. Shit, you catch the 90 bus or the 92 right there to where you work.
90 right up Florida Avenue.
Right. 90 bus take you right there. Yeah.
From 8th Street back to Florida.
Yeah, take you straight. Yeah, take you straight there. Yeah. So, we definitely got places on the south side or the northwest side. Northwest side, you'd be close to like Fort Todd train station.
Yeah.
Like Petworth. You know what Petworth is? So they'll take you straight to,
And I can go to New York Avenue Station if I need to catch a train.
Yeah, like 2 stops away, right? It's 2 stops away.
It's about 3 or 5, yeah. 3 or 4 or 5.
From Fort Totten to, New
York Avenue?
New York Avenue, about 3.
Oh, you right. That's actually 2 stops.
Right, let me see.
That's crazy.
Yeah, let me see what it is. Was it Fort Totten? Yeah, I guess you could catch Fort Totten to New York Avenue train station. Station. Let me see how far that is. I think it's 3 stops. Yeah, I think it's 3 or 4 stops.
Yeah.
It takes you 15 minutes to get there, yeah.
Hey, Mo, I don't know if I was supposed to talk to you, but it don't seem a lot to you because I'm sure you talk to a lot of people, but for somebody looking for a place, just a conversation is like a real blessing. So I really appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem.
I ain't even gotten nowhere yet. I'm so grateful with you. So you already know how it is, though, when you trying to look for somewhere.
I know exactly how it is. But yeah, so just reach out, take a look at those listings. All of our listings kind of look the same. They're all furnished and everything like that. All of our bathrooms are pretty nice, so you get to see I think you'll see how the bathrooms look if you look through all.
Yes, sir.
And then just let me know if you want south side or north side, northwest, and then we'll make it happen.
I will contact you a little later today after I get off work.
All right, sound good, man. I might stop through that Union Kitchen one day, man. What's the best food on the menu?
Hey, we shoot a sandwich anytime, or a latte, a cappuccino, anything, man.
What's your name? I'm gonna drop your name if I come through there.
I'm Gavin Blake.
Got you. I got you. All right, indeed.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. And there's that young man. It sounded very impressive. I thought. I don't know what you guys thought. He sounded pretty impressive. He worked on the job 7 years. Came up through the restaurant industry. How many times have we talked about how hard it is to come up through the restaurant industry? So that it seemed like a definitely good guy. Shit, and he's born and raised in D.C., Washingtonian, young black man, coming up through the restaurant industry here. But yeah, back to Donald Trump here before I get out of here. We do have street interviews tonight. We're going to be doing it at where? Buddies. You can see that here on the screen right here. I'm not even sure what time. Probably it depends on what time I need to, what time I get to where I gotta go. I got a couple things I need to do in Northwest today. Then I'm make my way there. So it'll probably be about 7 o'clock. So I hope you guys are able to check in about 7. But it should be live in effect by 7. But before we get out of here today, guys, don't let me forget to call them. I do need to check and make sure that they have internet. Make sure they have the internet there so that we can make sure we have a successful broadcast there. did you talk to the manager lady? Damn, no, I forgot, Stanley. But I'll get back to her. That's why I'm gonna call her again today. It's Friday, man. They should be, getting their orders and supplies in for the weekend run. So hopefully they're there a little early. But here's something interesting. Again, I thought about Trump and see.
Our economy, because through growing the economy, we're then able to create more jobs. Because crime really thrives where there is inequality and unemployment.
You see, the Ramaphosa is trying to convince Trump that crime is based on inequality there. I'm not sure if that sells because this lady's going to talk about one of the delegates there with Ramaphosa is going to say something very interesting.
And that is one of the reasons that has brought us here to improve our investment relations, our trade relations, so that we can preserve the number of jobs that your companies have created in South Africa. By virtue of what we export to you, we are able to create up to 500,000 jobs in the auto industry, in the agricultural industry, and a number of...
Bro, like, none of that shit is going to be worthwhile if you can't stop the rapes and the trash. People are not raping because they're broke, bro. Like, you're not going to convince Donald Trump or anyone, really, that rape is a crime of poverty.
Other industries, mining, where we export things to you. And we also know that as South African companies invest here, you are also able to create jobs. So it's a mutually beneficial relationship. So our main real reason for being here is to foster...
You know what's so interesting about this is that China, I'm sure, tries to do business in South Africa. We could look it up. And they don't give a damn about any of their relations going on in South Africa. The rapes, the trash, whatever. China will come in and get what they can get, and they'll leave them niggas living in trash. They will. And they'll leave them niggas raping each other. Donald Trump at least has come in and said, hey, man, look, you can't just be willy-nilly killing farmers. And just as easy as we give refugee status to people from Honduras who keep going back and forth to their country, we're going to give it to the most productive people in your country if you're willing to kill them. We can make use of these people. Can you stop killing your most productive people?
Trade and investment so that we are able to grow our economy, your support, and so that we're also...
This is really kind of amazing that you got a president from I think South Africa is either the first or the second biggest economy in Africa. And here he is going to white countries begging for investment. Bro, you got Africans all around you. Resources, fucking water. I mean, the whole ocean. I tell you, listen, it blew my mind. I was in Ghana. And to realize that they import fish while surrounded by an ocean, they import fish. It fucking blew my mind. And these people have a fucking ocean around them. And they are importing food. Truly amazing.
Able to address all these societal problems, because criminality thrives when people are unemployed, when they have no other hope to eke out a living.
But you've taken over this country. This country wasn't this bad down when the whites were in charge. You took over, and now rampant crime and violence has spread. And now, like, I don't even think he sees what he's saying here. He's going to the white man and say, hey, man, like, can you help us? Like a reverse colonization.
So that is what we need to resolve. And your support, your partnership with us is what is really going to give us a strong capability to move forward.
Like, I would love to ask him, why do you need to partner with me, bro? It's billions of you Africans in Africa. All around you are other Africans. Why do you need to partner with me, bro? Like, for what? Why should I partner with you? Why you blacks are screaming, kill the Boer, And Trump made him watch it. He made that nigga, he smeared the shit in his face. And nigga, watch this video of your people talking about killing white people. And here you are asking me to help you. These niggas, I don't think the nigga understood it.
Mr. President,
I want you to listen to this black lady. Oh, this black lady's.
Do you have anything to say? I mean, I don't want to leave you out. You know, the guy won 3 or 4 majors. 3 or 4.
Oh, here's the white man.
That's a lot. By the way, 2's a lot. A lot of tournaments you won too. Do you have anything to say?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. President Ramaphosa. I grew up in an area in South Africa that is.
Now, I want you to listen to this white man, and he's about to directly contradict what these Africans are saying. Like, they don't want to talk about it.
Farmland area, Polokwane. And there is some issues up there. Obviously, my dad was a property developer as well as a part-time farmer. And yeah, some of these buddy farmers got killed.
So he's talking about the farm murders. He said, yeah, we do have a problem with farm murders. But the Africans don't want to admit it, that their people, their brethren, are committing some of the worst atrocities you could ever imagine. I remember watching the a South African video about them killing the farmers, some of the most savage shit I've ever seen in my life.
Farm is still going. My brothers run it. But it's a constant battle with farms they're trying to burn the farms down to chase you away. So it is.
He just said they're trying to burn the farms down to chase people away. Now you think about that shit. Only a nigga was saying, I'm gonna burn the farm down to chase the farmer away. Then the next step is, well, what the fuck are you gonna eat when the farmer leaves? I don't believe they can't think that far.
It is a concern to try and make a living as a farmer, and at the end they, without farmers, there's no food on the plate. So we need the farmers to produce the food.
And the president's sitting there like just stupefied. He can't say shit. What are you gonna say? No, that's not happening. And this man is saying, will it happen to me?
He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't even want to do what you're doing, right? They love farming. They don't want to leave. But it's a struggle.
Yeah, and food and fresh water is the most important thing in life. Without those 2 things, you can't survive.
How is the water there?
The water is great. Obviously, all the water comes out of the bore.
Now, what did we just hear? The white man said the water is great. Well, he said, and why the water is great? But then we just heard the black man say, well, the water's fucked up. Ain't no water. They went to the tap. It wasn't no water. That's what happened. But this man said the water is great. Well, how's his water great and the other man's water is fucked up? Here's explain.
All out of ground for us down there. But yeah, it is a battle to get the water out sometimes when all the equipment gets stolen all the time.
He said, we drill a borehole. And then he said, the niggas come and steal the equipment. God damn.
That you're trying to get battle to get the water out sometimes when all the equipment gets stolen all the time that you're trying to get.
Who's stealing the equipment? Ramaphosa sitting there like a lump on a log. His people. The nightshades are stealing the fucking water pumping equipment.
Does your family and your brother, do they feel safe on the farm?
They live behind electric fences,
He said they live beyond electric fences. Stanley said them for the cows. And them electric fences for the cows. Oh, he said you don't even know if these people are cow farmers or animal farmers. They could be growing fruits and vegetables and crops and shit. Do you think the cabbages get up and leave the farm? Is that what the fences are for? The cabbages?
Try and be at night safe, but it is constant whenever you leave that something could happen.
It's constant. Whenever you leave, something could happen. And done by whom, sir? Answer that question for us. Tell Mr. Donald Trump. Who could do something to you, sir?
And,
there's nowhere to live.
Both of them has been attacked in their houses.
Donald Trump said, that's no way to live. What?
There's nowhere to live.
No way to live. This is what the blacks created. He's head nigger in charge. And he's created a place where Donald Trump just said, man, that is nowhere to live. And what this nigga must be embarrassed. Nigga, you created this. At your hands, at your governors, nigga. This white man telling you in front of your face, nigga. This ain't mumbling Biden, nigga. This a real white man telling you in front of your face to one of your fucking citizens, that's no way to live. This nigga ought to be embarrassed. He ought to be fucking embarrassed. He ought to be embarrassed. But you can't embarrass these niggas.
Both of them has been attacked in their houses. My mom's been attacked in their house when she was 80. So
He said my mom was attacked in the house when she was 80. By whom, sir?
attacked in their houses. My mom's been attacked in their house when she was 80. So it is difficult. But, you know, the guys live a great life despite everything going on.
Something.
Wait, Ramaphosa thought he had some here. Oh, Ramaphosa thought he had some here. He gonna have one of his delegates speak for him. Oh, watch this shit.
President Trump, I brought along the president of the largest trade union in our country.
He said, I brought along the president of the largest state.
Ziggy Solosi, because she leads many, many workers.
He said she leads many, many workers. I want you to listen to what she said.
1 million, 2 million workers. And maybe we should give her a chance to say something, because she's come all the way to join us.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Now, let me see. Hold on. Stanley keep talking about these fucking electric fences. Let me see what we got. Electric fences, farms, South Africa. You gotta get it right. What are they used for? Electric fences are commonly used on farms in South Africa to protect livestock and property. Okay, that's Stanley. He's partly right. But they can also pose a significant threat to wildlife, particularly pangolins and tortoises. While these fences are effective at deterring predators and controlling animal movement, they can also be fatal for small animals that come in contact with them. Let's see if they say anything else. Protection. Let's see, are these people putting, maybe Stanley's correct. Maybe the white man don't know what the fuck he talking about. Oh, electric fences are a common security measure for farms in South Africa, primarily used to protect livestock, crops, and property from predators, intruders, and theft. Theft from what? Who's stealing? Who's stealing? Are the Africans coming onto the farm stealing? They can also be used to deter intruders, human and animal, and provide a visible and effective barrier to humans. Stanley, coming in or out. Let's see what else we have. Let's see what else we have. Is there any other thing? Farm murders. Let's see. I want to make sure that farm murders, security, murders. So we do see that they do keep humans out. Let's see. Here's why install electric fencing, Cape Town. And see what it says here, Stanley. You could be right. Electric fencing was originally developed in New Zealand. Electric fences deter and detect. It's an effective way of deterring potential intruders, which is why it is used throughout with great success. The fence is also connected to an alarm which will go off when the system is breached. The system has proven to be very effective and can replace the services of security guards, which also can be a threat because your security guard could be teaming up with criminals to monitor your premises. These systems offer scalable solutions with a variable number of zones that is ideal for homeowners and business owners throughout South Africa. Oh, can be linked to your existing security provider like ADT and Chubb. A fence alarm will deter the person from entering the premises as it serves as an early warning device if the wires are cut or shorted. Yes, these electric fences are on farms because the Africans are killing the farmers. Right? That's why.
Thank you for having us, and President, for extending the invitation to us.
I want you to listen to this lady right here. This is one of the state governors or whatever.
And I must say that we are here to support the initiative that has been made by our government with business, of course, as organized labor. We've been coming to Washington on the AGOA trade relations in the previous regime. And I think at the center of it all, for me, it is exactly what Mr. Rupert has said, the importance of us growing the economy. We have always emphasized when we were here and kept on coming and negotiating on AGOA that the 600 US companies that are based in South Africa, as you said, President Ramaphosa, 500,000 jobs will be wiped out. We need more foreign direct investment in our country. We are not just talking about those that will lose employment, but we are talking about over 40% of people that are unemployed, that have no hope of.
40% of the people in her state unemployed. No hope. Nigga, you should have came with your hat in hand. I guess that's what he really has done. You're going to have to take what that white man got to say to you, boy. You can't run a country. You need his help. You need the Chinese help. You need the Russians' help. You need the Europeans' help. And she's going to tell you, not only are they unemployed, but what do they do when they're unemployed?
Of ever finding job. And we think that, correctly, as they have said, that we need to deal with the issue of porous borders in our country so that everyone that comes in is documented. We also need...
Talking about borders, Stanley. She want them to be documented, registered. You want to make sure who's who. Maybe they're running from war-torn countries. You got to let them all in. That's what we do here. We give them asylum. She don't want to get all these Zimbabweans and Malians asylum in her country. Hell, they already got 40% unemployed. What happens if you bring more?
To, and I would have thought that the minister would address the issue of land expropriation and how the policy works in South Africa. Recently, President, as you were preparing to come here on the news, in, I think it was in Natal, there was a handover of farms, and white farmers were saying, we are donating the land, but also...
Did you get this shit? She said there was a handover of the farms, and the white farmers who were handing over the farms to the Africans who do not know how to farm are basically saying, we just donating our farms to these people. Fucking amazing.
So there's a willing buyer, willing seller in South Africa. So there is no expropriation without compensation. But it is a willing buyer, willing seller. And that white farmer was even saying, President, that they...
Now, this is just some bullshit. Willing buyer. I'm going to show you. Willing buyer, willing seller. This is, you don't need all these Rube Goldberg-like contraptions. Let me see, South Africa here. They came up with some kind of contraption to get the whites to sell their farms to the Africans. And so here we go. The willing buyer, willing seller approach to land reform in South Africa refers to a process where the government seeks to acquire land for redistribution, but only from landowners who are willing to sell and only at market value. So what they're saying is, hey, white man, if you want to sell your farm, we're going to buy it and sell it to one of our people, one of our Africans. This principle has been a central part of South Africa's land reform effort since 1994, aiming to address historical injustices and inequalities in land ownership. However, the approach has faced criticism, has been the subject of debate. Let's see what they're debating on this shit. Let's see if we get somebody. We do this. Let's see. See, this negress is coming up here trying to pull one over Donald Trump's head here. And let's see, willing buyer, willing seller, bullshit. It's 7 years ago. They say it failed dramatically.
When we take over political power in South Africa,
this is Julius Malema killed the boy. This is the man in his screen. This is the one that Donald Trump made them play the video where he's in front of a stadium of people saying, screaming, kill the white man.
When we take over political power in South Africa, we as the EFF are going to make sure that the state is custodian of all land because the willing buyer, willing seller approach has dismally failed. The buying of pieces of land by government has also failed because in majority cases those pieces of land return to control of those who sold it to government. The land belongs to all South Africans. And anybody who pretends
the land belongs to all South Africans, that's what he says.
And otherwise does not appreciate the suffering of the black majority and Africans in particular who were dispossessed of their land through colonial wars of dispossession.
There you go, right there. And looks like the Orania.
They said it with their chests. Orania, a self-declared whites-only enclave in democratic South Africa, has just looked Julius Malema and the entire EFF movement in the eye and said, we don't need your permission to exist.
We do not need or seek permission to exist. And it's not for the EFF or any other government to tell this community it may not exist or they don't like our existence.
Let that sink in. A town built on the ideology of apartheid's leftovers is now publicly flexing its defiance and doing it with the language of democracy, coexistence, and community. And yes, you heard that right. This isn't 1985. This is April 2025. Let's get into it.
We are not a political party. We do not march for our existence. We do not depend on the attention of media. We are a community of living people, of mothers and children and schools and roads and jobs and businesses and power generators. And, this is home. We don't march and then. But as a community, we do not need or seek permission to exist. And it's not for the EFF or any other government to tell this community it may not exist or they don't like our existence. That's just not how it works. It doesn't work for any community in South Africa on that basis.
White man saying, look, man, I don't want to be a part of what y'all got going on. Shit, let's just go live separately from you all. We'll take some barren land and make it productive. We don't want any part of you. We don't want to take anything from you. We don't want any fertile land that you might feel like you can do better with. Just leave us the fuck alone, man. Just let us live in peace away from you. And the blacks will not allow them to do. They won't allow them. And you have to ask yourself, why not? Right? Why won't they allow these people to live in peace? They don't want anything from these blacks, these Africans.
Tell the Zulus they may not exist. They may not have a kingdom. They may not have land. There's not such a thing. So that's not part of the discussion. The discussion of how we coexist, how we engage, what we discuss with each other, that is something that may, take us forward if we really apply our minds to that.
Yeah, the difference is that telling the Zulus what you've just said, myself as a Xitsonga-speaking woman, I am allowed to be in KZN. I am allowed to interact with the Zulus and be with them as a Xitsonga woman.
Now pause, because here's the uncomfortable truth that few want to say out loud. Orania is working. This small town built by Afrikaners has created its own economy, infrastructure, and governance, without corruption, without chaos, without crime. They're farming, building, trading, even running a digital currency. They're doing, in many ways, what we wish more communities could do, stand on their own feet. But here's the tension. The EFF, arguably the most dynamic and visionary political force in South Africa today, sees Orania as an insult, a leftover from apartheid apartheid, a denial of the inclusive society that 1994 promised. And yet, both these forces want the same thing: power to the people, dignity for the marginalized, a future that's not written by colonizers or capitalists, but by us. So how did these two end up clashing? Orania was founded in 1991, in the twilight of apartheid, by Karel Boshoff Sr., the son-in-law of Hendrik Verwoerd. That alone paints a certain picture. But here's where it gets more complicated. Orania doesn't want to run South Africa. They don't want to overthrow the constitution. They just want to live in a space that reflects their language, their values, their way of life. And in a country with 11 official languages and hundreds of cultures, is that really so outrageous? In a way, Orania is doing what we preach: Ubuntu, building strong community from within. Yes, they are overwhelmingly white. Yes, that's uncomfortable. But if we start saying cultural communities can't exist unless they're racially diverse, aren't we setting a trap for every Zulu, Tswana, or Venda space that wants to define itself too?
With such a move, the EFF has accused you of destroying the unity of South Africa. And, you know, do you think, yeah, perhaps let me give you a chance to respond to that with the way that Orania is placed, the accusation of destroying the unity of South Africa, because Orania is a group of people opposed to majority black rule when apartheid ended some 3 decades ago. Would I be
I mean, these people, they want it both ways. They really want the white man's productivity. They see what the white man built in South Africa, more or less barren land. And they can't do that on fertile land. They want to take these farms, buy all these bullshit willing buyer, willing seller schemes that probably someone has come up with in South Africa. They didn't think this shit up. Someone probably came up with this. And I want to hear some more about this whole willing buyer, willing seller shit.
Is lost. It's a colossal betrayal of our compensation.
Yeah, I can't
where land is being expropriated, market-related compensation must be paid. You know, that's a little bit like saying, if I steal your car and you want it back, I must you must still pay me, the thief of your car. This is what this act is about. And the problem is not really the act. The problem is in the Constitution. Section 25 of the Constitution protects the property of land thieves, as we call them. And it says if you are going to expropriate, you must pay just and equitable compensation. Now, what that means has been clarified by our courts. Just and equitable compensation is market value. So basically, this act says when we want our land, we must go back, and if the land thief is willing to sell, we can only buy then. So there's nothing new. It is the same old process.
They're basically saying that the whites are land thieves. And if the whites want to sell, then they must basically, I think he's saying, sell it back to the blacks who originally owned it. I mean, if you originally owned it, why the fuck are you even buying it back? Just give it back. But then the bigger question becomes, what are you going to do with the land once you take it back from the Africans, the white Afrikaners or whatever?
Process of willing buyer, willing seller, which benefits land thieves once more.
All right. Now, you mentioned Section 25. The progressive forces opposition parties believe that amending Section 25 of the South African Constitution is the only way to effectively address the historical injustices and inequality that are related to land ownership in the country. Now, how do you perceive the current legal framework outlined in this section?
Well, it is very clear. You know, some people get confused when they read that section when it says certain matters must be taken in consideration when you expropriate, such as the use of the land, how it was acquired, and so on and so forth. But all that is irrelevant. The matter of land compensation has already been determined by our courts. The court has said, by the way, interestingly, Advocate Ncukaitobi, he sits as the judge in the Land Claims Court. He made a ruling there in the Msiza case where he wanted to take off some of these categories from the financial compensation.
I don't want to hear no more of this shit. Let me see what a South African court looks like. South African court. I think images. South African courts. Do they still wear the wigs and shit? Do they still wear the wigs? Which one of them fucking African courts still wear the wigs? I thought they wore the wigs over there. Oh, no, I knew it. I knew it. Woo-wee. Have mercy. These niggas still wearing wigs. Oh, man, Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. The British gave up their last colonies in Africa half a century ago, but they left their wigs behind. Not just any wigs. Long white horsehair locks worn by high court judges. They're so old-fashioned and so uncomfortable that even British barristers have stopped wearing them. But in former British colonies, Kenya, Zimbabwe, Ghana, Malawi, and others, they live on worn by judges and lawyers. Now, a new generation of African jurists is asking, why are the continent's most prominent legal minds still wearing the trappings of the colonizers? That should have been the motherfucking thumbnail. Ooh, why they still got them motherfucking wigs on? Ooh, man. The white man left behind his horsehair wigs. The blacks picked them up and put them on. God almighty. And now they're here in America saying, man, shit, we need you to recolonize us, Mr. Trump. Will you recolonize us, Mr. Trump? We need you. We need you to help us with the economy and all this other shit. We need help. Some serious help, Mr. Trump. Only you can do it. Only you can do it, Mr. Trump. Mr. Donald J. Trump. I wonder what the liberals must think. The liberals who call him racist and shit, and they see this fucking African bowing down begging for Trump to help them. And he said, man, I need you to treat my people right. White people. Nigga, you over here killing white people. The fuck you want my help for? If you killing white people, seem like you got it all figured out. You gonna do it on your own. I mean, you think you got some kind of Negro scheme to take over the property and shit? So let's go back to what this black lady was saying here. Listen, she about to really embarrass Ramaphosa.
The government is even paying more in buying the land than what the land is worth of. And I think those are the realities, President.
So she's saying the government is paying more than the land is worth. In other words, they're getting the farmers rich. The willing buyer is getting more than the land is worth. Paid for by the government. That sounds like corruption there to me. I would bet you that Ramaphosa and his boys are probably buying some of this farmland. Ain't that about it, bitch? He's the willing buyer. The farmland, the farmer, has his arm twisted into being a willing seller. And Ramaphosa is the only man with the money to be a willing buyer. Him and his cronies. And that's why the whole scheme has failed. Because of corruption. These people want a state-run government. They're okay with Ramaphosa running the government. They just don't want the whites to run it. And they will be willing to starve and be without water and be happy. Then I guess they'll come here and say, hey, Mr. White Man, can you rebuild our country again? We run the whites off. We thought we could do it. Couldn't do it. So now we need the white man to come back. And that is what they're here doing. They want to run one white man off. The Iranians didn't want to work with them. So they went out and formed their own little separate land within the country, and they're thriving. And so now these people want to come over to Rube Goldberg-like scheme and go outside of their country and ask a different white man. I guess he's a special, he's a different white man than the white men they have in their own country. But listen to what she's about to say.
That we must say that we need to address, of course, but also the importance of agriculture linked to AGOA. People rely on it, and I think, as Retief have said, for survival and living. But lastly, for me, President, is also the issue of the crime statistics.
The what?
President, is also the issue of the crime statistics.
No way.
There is no doubt about it that we are a violent nation, for a number of reasons, and we're not condoning anything. But also, if you go into the rural areas where black majority are, you would see women, elderly, being raped, being killed, being murdered, and these are black elderly women.
Wait a minute, what? Did y'all hear what she said? Did y'all hear what she said? Did y'all hear what she just said? Ladies and gentlemen, did y'all hear that shit? Let me play it back for you again.
You would see women, elderly, being raped, being killed, being murdered, and these are black elderly women.
Black elderly women being what? What did she say?
You would see women, elderly, being raped, being killed, being murdered, and these are black elderly women that would be found throat slits, raped multiple times, and all of that. And
Hey, Sin, you probably remember this, name, Sin. You probably remember this right here. Let's see if I could. Let's see if I can pull this shit out. I see what you. I see what you wrote in the chat there, Sin. I think it was Zuma. Let's see.
Mr. Zuma, the fact that you took a shower after having unprotected sex with an HIV positive woman, believing that it would minimize your risk, has really angered AIDS activists. What is your response to their criticism?
But if we have been in the kitchen, my dear, peeling onion, you wash your hands, not so. What was funny about washing your hands after doing something? After washing yourself, what's the problem?
Ooh-wee. Now, that was the former president of South Africa. Listen to get this nigga again. Go ahead, boy.
Mr. Zuma, the fact that you took a shower after having unprotected sex with an HIV positive woman, believing that it would minimize your risk, has really angered AIDS activists. What is your response to their criticism?
But if we have been in the kitchen, my dear, peeling onion, you wash your hands, not so. What was funny about washing your hands after doing something? After washing yourself, what's the problem?
But Mr. Zuma, AIDS is a big problem in this country, and saying things like
And
taking a shower.
hygiene is a big problem in this country. Clean yourself.
Clean yourself up, nigga. Wipe yourself down after you just had sex with a HIV-infected person. That was the last president. I think it was he the last president of South Africa. And this lady here, she's talking about rapes. Stanley rapes. Man, you're not gonna have an economy where y'all raping people, bro. You gotta get these rapes, this trash, and then you can talk about building buildings and industry, bro. It's how it works. That's how it works, my man. Don't mind that damn. Yeah, Zuma. I think Zuma's still alive. Hell yeah, he's still alive. Zuma. Makes you doubt the age, doesn't it? Zuma. Jacob Zuma. Is he still alive? Yeah, he's 83 years old. Yeah, he's still alive. His daughter got a little Obama in it. Riot starter. What? Riot started.
The former South African President Jacob Zuma's daughter, Dudezile Zuma Sambudla, was let off with a warning by a Durban court on Thursday. Now, Zuma Sambudla is accused of using her social media account to incite public violence during the July 2021 riots, the unrest that had followed her father's imprisonment, that left 350 people dead and it caused massive damage to property and businesses. The prosecutors have said that her post encouraged road blockades, arson and attacks on infrastructure and the judiciary. The Zuma Sambudla was alleged to have tried to pressurize the government to release her father.
That shit look like some American riots after Rodney King, Michael Brown.
Zuma Sambudla denies the incitement, saying that her posts were completely misconstrued. Now, the case is now being transferred to the High Court for the 20th of March. On Friday, about 58 MPs from Jacob Zuma's MK party, including Zuma Sambudla, were sworn into South Africa's parliament.
And that's Zuma's wife, their daughter. And here's this lady just talking about the rapes.
Problem in South Africa, it is not necessarily about race, but it is about crime.
She said it's not about race, it's about crime. But who is committing the rapes? God damn it, I can't take this shit no more. Who in the fuck is raping old women, lady? You not gonna tell us? She told us basically.
And these are black elderly women.
Black elderly women, okay.
Would be found throat slits, raped,
Throat slit.
multiple times and all of that. And the problem, throat slits, raped multiple times.
Raped multiple times. Good Lord have mercy. And these niggas think they're gonna build an economy on top of that? Did you hear what she said? Throat slit. Multiple rapes of elderly women. These motherfuckers are debased, man. They're like, you can't build an economy with people like this.
Being murdered, and these are black elderly women
Black elderly women.
that would be found throat slits,
Throat slit.
raped multiple times, and
Raped multiple times.
all of that. And the problem in South Africa, it is not necessarily about race, but it is about crime. And
It's not about race, but it's about the crime that's committed almost exclusively by blacks.
we think that we are here to say, how do we, both nations, work together to reset, to really talk about investment, but
And she said, how can we work together? Like, do you want us to solve your rape problem? What do you want us to do? We can't solve your rape problem. Build prisons, put them in prisons, kill them, whatever the fuck you gotta do. But if you got a rape problem, that's a human, like, you got a human deficiency. You know, you got some problems within your population, and you're probably gonna have to weed them motherfuckers out. That's probably not gonna be the only solution. Man, just being honest, I can't think of anything else. If you got people running around raping old women, bro, you're not gonna be able to make hay out of them. You're not gonna be able to do it. Not gonna be able to do it. He said, man, I said, well, why you raping her? I ain't got no job. What? What? Yeah, you slit her throat too? You and your homie? Y'all both just unemployed? Y'all just go out on a rape spree? Huh? Like, you got to clean that pool up. That pool is full of dirty water.
also help us in how we can have the technology and everything that is needed, President, to really address the levels of crime that we have in our country. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And Ramaphosa is sitting there like, he can't say shit. Man, fuck your economy, bro. You got rapers and killers on the loose. You probably gonna have to start there. It's like the foundation of a house, man. Like, shit, you can't keep building and water just flooding in through the basement. You gonna have to figure that water problem out first. And Trump, you showed them this. And again, these people just, they have no, you can't embarrass them. I'm trying to see where he said, nigga, cut the light down. Cut the lights down. Cut the lights down low. Cut the lights down low. Turn your head. I want you to see what one of your political leaders is saying here. Turn the light down low.
Son, it's right behind you. Johan.
There's nothing this parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. We don't care. We can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land. Yeah. South African occupy land. That's who we are. Honorable member, can withdraw my membership from this useless parliament? Honorable. Yes, honorable member. Must never be scared to kill.
Look, the Ramaphosa got a smile on his face. You got to grin through it, nigga, Barrett. Biden wouldn't have done this to you. Obama wouldn't have done it. He probably been in the stadium cheering him on like Mandela was.
A revolution demands that at some point there must be killing, because the killing
There must be killing, he said.
is part of a revolutionary act. Shoot to kill. Yamaza. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer.
Trump made that nigga, he smeared shit in his face. Said, this is your people, bloodlust like people. Watch it all, nigga. On the big screen. I need you to watch it. I need you to watch and listen to your people, boy. Before I help you, boy, you gonna treat my people right. Ramaphosa can't look. Look, he here to look away. Look at him. He looking away. Niggas, don't look away. White man gonna smear your nose in this shit, boy. Don't look away, nigga. Don't look away. Look at the nigga. Look at Ramaphosa looking away. Look at him. Trump got his eyes on that screen, nigga. You need to turn your head around, boy, and see what you fomented in your country. A hatred for white people, the people that feed your black ass. They probably treat your black ass. I bet you if Ramaphosa gets sick, nigga, that nigga head to Europe, bro. Ramaphosa can't look at it. He can't look. He gotta look away. And Trump is smearing his nose in this shit. Smear it. And Ramaphosa, he can't look. Look at Ramaphosa, he can't look. These are your people, boy. You're gonna have to solve this problem before you come and ask me for some help. Look at Ramaphosa, can't look. Look at him. What you embarrassed about? Has he even looked at the fucking video at all? The nigga won't look. That nigga will not look. He smeared that nigga face in this shit. Nigga will not look. This why your country can't grow, boy. Ain't nobody building on top of this shit right here. You got to clean this shit out. You gotta teach these niggas the way of the world. That they food, the businesses that are run, that these niggas talking about they want jobs and they want to run all these BEE schemes. It's gonna have to come by way of the white man, boy. Y'all can't build shit. The lady right here, she's a governor of a state. She's telling you that 40% unemployment and the niggas are raping old women. You're not gonna be able to build anything with that. A job is not gonna be the solution to that. These niggas are here killing women, raping women multiple times. Bro, how the fuck a job gonna solve that? You got a human capital problem.
So these people, when you want to hit them hard, go after a white man. They feel a
This Ramaphosa still ain't fucking looking. I'd have made that nigga turn your chair around. Watch it all.
Because you have touched a white man. Not because Mashaba and Sunni will not be touched. They will be touched, don't worry. But we are starting with this whiteness. in the throat of what person?
Look, these two niggas looking forward. They not looking either. Goddamn. Turn your black ass around and look what you've created. The white lady, the black lady is, she the governor, she looking. Cause she know what's being fomented here. More rapes and murders. They can't get their hands on the white people. They got gates and electric fences and shit and security. So they're killing each other.
Yamanza, kill the brewer, the farmer, kill the brewer, the farmer. Pa, pa, pa. Shoot to kill.
Shoot to kill the boer, the farmer.
Kill the brewer, the farmer, kill the brewer, the farmer.
Woo.
That you was not called for the killing of white people, at least for now. I can't see the future. Yeah, but I mean, you'd understand somebody watching that, especially as it gets shared on Twitter, they freak out. It sounds like a genocidal but it
Man, you know, this shit just so crazy, man. I'm just sitting here thinking about this shit. Imagine you got political leaders in your country that feel this way about white people. And then you gotta go to a white man and asking him for help. Why you screaming about killing white people? Man, these niggas have no shame. This is why I keep saying, like, you can't even fucking embarrass them. Like, I'd have put this nigga down before I went and asked the white man for help. Like, hey, nigga, what the fuck you talking about? I need the white man for help. We need the white man for help. Fuck you mean? Kill the boy. Nigga, how we gonna eat, nigga? Import food? In a land where we can just grow shit? Look around, all them niggas talking about killing the white man. None of them niggas got any dirt up on their fingernails from farming. Guarantee you. They don't, I guarantee you, most of these motherfuckers can't make the connection between farm to table. They can't make the fucking connection between farm to table. They grocery store to table. How the food get in the grocery store, they got no fucking idea. On this, you know what? We're gonna keep playing it, and I'm gonna play the full version of this shit.
Without compensation, whether they like it or not. If they object, they can seek refuge in America.
Now this is very bad. These are burial sites right here.
Trump showing the burial sites of white farmers. God damn. And this nigga, I mean, bloodlust motherfuckers, and have no awareness, self-awareness, that here you are asking a white man for help after laying to rest all these white folks. Niggas, you crazy. Nigga, do you not know the way of the world? Maybe you could have gotten away with this shit with Joe Biden, Obama. But for now, nigga, it's a new day. And you're gonna have to account for this shit.
Burial sites, over 1,000 of white farmers, and those cars are lined up to pay love on a Sunday morning. Each one of those white things you see is a cross, and there's approximately 1,000 of them. They're all white farmers, the family of white farmers. And those cars aren't driving, they're stopped there to pay respects to their family member who was killed. and it's a terrible sight. I've never seen anything like it. Both sides of the road, you have crosses. Those people were all killed.
Have they told you where that is, Mr. President? No, I'd like to know where that is, because this I've never seen. I don't. Okay.
I mean, it's in South Africa.
We need to find out.
Mr. President, the Pentagon announced that it would be accepting a Qatari jet to be used as Air Force One, perhaps.
What are you talking about?
Can we have a South African question, please? Mr. President,
The Pentagon spokesperson.
What does this have to do with the Qatari jet? They're giving the United States Air Force a jet, okay? And it's a great thing. We're talking about a lot of other things.
You know what's so interesting? Like, I first heard about the killing fields of South Africa from a black African, and I think I have maybe we play a snippet of it. I thought I had this shit up. Yeah, I do. Here it is. Here's a snippet of it.
Country, and it's better to know than not to know.
There is a political climate supporting these attacks and political backing for police prepared to help a brother out. I receive a message from a policeman currently in active service with the South African police force. He has... I started bargaining pretty hard with a God I'd never believed in. Who else can you lean?
Handing over land doesn't equal a farm.
No, it does not. And there are so many examples of how this failed dismally. Where a beautiful, productive farm were given to a group of people who lost the farm through simple neglect. The homestead, beautiful homestead, was broken down and plundered, and parts of it, you know, the roof and other inside doors and stuff, happened to appear elsewhere in shacks. So all you have is the broken walls remaining of the farm, and then of the productivity of that farm, it's all went to nothing. There's nothing left. So you have bushveld again. And if you look at that farm a few years afterwards, you'd never believe that this was one of the best productive farms at its time.
And it is the food.
And that is what has happened all over South Africa, where they've killed the farmers. No one has been left to run the farm, and then it becomes just an unproductive, and it goes back to nature there, and the people end up starving. So it's not surprising that I think even Zimbabwe, who've had their own kind of torture the farmer farms, they've also started welcoming the white man back. And I think you'll see that here. 10 years ago, Mugabe said he was the president, one-time president of Zimbabwe.
And follows the chaotic 2002 land invasions, which saw about 4,000 white commercial farmers driven off their farms. Some were killed, others fled to cities and neighboring countries. Now only a handful of white commercial farmers are still operating in the country. Zimbabwe, once the breadbasket of the sub-Saharan region, now faces food shortages annually. New occupants of the repossessed land have not been productive over the years due to a lack of funding from banks because of a lack of title deeds. Mugabe says the permits are meant to solve this problem, as the new landowners now have a 99-year lease which they can use as collateral. He warns new owners against leasing land back to white farmers or anyone else, saying many Zimbabweans died for land in the struggle for independence.
Know more. ENCA.com.
And that was the scheme they apparently ran 10 years ago. And I think they've now had to bring the white man back. I think they've had to bring the white man back. Let's see, farmers returning. Zimbabwe. Farmers return.
The first time a white Zimbabwean farmer Rob Smart left his land, it was at gunpoint, forced out in June by riot police armed with tear gas and AK-47 assault rifles. Smart returned on Thursday to ululations and tears of joy from former workers and their families who were also kicked out.
We are overjoyed, we are over the moon. We thought we would never see this day coming.
Scores of Jubilant black Zimbabweans nearly knocked out the 71-year-old off his feet as he and his 2 children stepped out of the car and onto their land for the first time in 6 months.
Getting back to the farm is given not just us but the whole community hope that it's a new Zimbabwe, a new country.
Land ownership is one of Zimbabwe's most sensitive political topics. Colonialists seized some of the best agricultural land and much of it remained in the hands of white farmers after independence in 1980, leaving many blacks effectively landless.
And that was Zimbabwe there. And again, we have a live stream tonight. Where we're going to be? We're going to be at Buddy's.
I got to miss it.
We're going to be at Buddy's tonight. You can see Buddy's right here. And again, just as a reminder of what led me off this stream, my mornings, again in Southeast DC, boy, every day is an adventure around here. And so today, I was on my ride. I always ride a different way, different direction every day. Just see, see something new, see something different, what's going on in this city here. And you see here. You see here Jungle on his morning ride. Is that on it? There's a video somewhere. Let's see, a video somewhere. Again, subscribe to J Sweet Jungle on Twitter. You can see some stuff you don't see here. And here's
It's fucking crazy, dude.
You can see the dead guy right there. And they're waiting to pick him up. Not sure what happened to him. He could be number 11 of 11. We've been hitting on all cylinders here. One every day of the week. One for every day that passes by. This could be number 11 of 11 here. Could be 11 of 11 here. Hey, what do you say, my background? What are you saying about that, Latino? I'm not sure. I don't get the drift. What he's saying. My background. And that was my morning. This morning here, and and we get into this and finish my coffee.
That's an organization is identified as being part of, or a former member rather, of the Party for Socialism and Liberation. And there are some who believe that that's an organization that you've been friendly with, and that that organization invites extremism. Can you react to those concerns?
Well, I think extremism on both ends are detrimental and harmful to our humanity. I am not connected to any level of extremism on the right or the left. You know, I think it's important here that I have demonstrated over and over again my commitment to humanity. This is the time in which we have to give that much more attention to the Jewish community, and we're going to continue to do that. All acts of extremism in this city, I have condemned, and we will continue to do that.
Mayor, if I can follow up with that, and then my follow-up question will be to the superintendent, but at the May Day rally over in Union Park that you participated in, I was also members of the two organizations that Elias Rodriguez was associated with, the PSL and the Answer. We're both there, and there was chants of Free Palestine and others, I'm told, before you came on stage. Is there a little disconnect here that, you know, you're at this event where these same organizations are associated with the suspect we're at?
So as you know, the history of May Day is standing up for workers. There's a long history of the city of Chicago leading the effort to ensure that workers are valued and seen. As someone who is deeply connected to the labor movement, as a city that is the most pro-worker city in America, that's what that rally and that May Day is all about, is celebrating the accomplishments that the labor movement has led. The 8-hour workday, better wages and benefits. In fact, it was Dr. King that described so eloquently that the civil rights movement and the labor rights movement were one and the same. We are living out the hopes and aspirations of labor and civil rights. That's what the May Day rally was about.
Now this guy here, they have pictures of him with the guy that shot up the Jewish exhibit or the Jewish institution. They have pictures of him with the guy, and that's kind of like all they really have is revolution and fighting back. You keep hearing all of those words, and it's creating people that are clearly, to the far left extremes and will commit murder and stuff like that. And they're screaming "Free Palestine." This guy took it a little bit too far, quite a bit too far. And I bet you here, all these guys, all these people in this video with Brandon Johnson get their bread from the government. None of these people are able to go out into the mainstream society. This guy back here, he look like he fucking sleep. They probably look, they got some neighborhood sweatshirts on, some government money. This guy here with dreadlocks, cornrows, whatever the hell, older guy here. None of these people are able to really go work in society. And so they're so closely aligned with the government that the government effectively makes props out of them. They'll give this guy some money and skim their bit off to the top. And that's really, their place in politics now is to support more government handouts because they're getting their cut. The politicians are getting their cut. There's no industry that they could give them any business. This guy doesn't own a crane or a tractor or a damn backhoe. So you can't even cut them into the government largest that way. It just has to be handouts. And these people are all fighting for the handouts of the government. But the problem is they're being infiltrated with far left extremist groups, which makes it harder to give these people money. And that's why he can't answer that question here, because when you do give them the money, look what they do with it. This is how they can. This is the only way they know how to get money here. Indicted on federal charges for stealing $115,000 in COVID funds, and look how she's dressed. Anyone surprised? Again, they can't govern these cities. And here's a video of Durban, South Africa. Can you imagine being the president of South Africa, leaving your country looking like this? If I'd have been the president of Trump, I'd have shown him this. I said, hey man, you got real serious problems here. Look. This is Durban, one of the major cities in South Africa. What? Nigga, you come and ask me for money for what? Nah, I don't think so, bro. You don't need money from me. You need to just clean this shit up first. Look at this shit. What? Yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, unfucking believable. Unfucking believable.
Oh, don't worry.
Unfucking believable. Downtown Durban. Before I get out of here, man, I do have to run. It's I got about 10 minutes. Little drive-by. Little drive-by.
Watching News at Prime, let's pick up on.
Go, mama, go. Go, mama, go. Doing drive-by here, practice.
Can I get a pack of Capri Ones when you make that long? 19.
Smoke.
Whoa. "41 years old. Never gets old. Big John No shot and killed a man for talking to his girlfriend in the gas station. Have mercy. Threw his life away over a big bat. Niggas really kill each other over the stupidest shit. But only want to rally together when a cop kills us. This time niggas focus on the internal problem as well. Somebody said they just can't believe it. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Damn. Damn. That's fucking sick. Threw it all away, my nigga. God damn. Let me see these New Orleans criminals being caught yet before I get out of here. Was it New Orleans prisoners? Yeah, let's see. Let's see, them niggas been caught yet? Blacks just don't let these niggas run wild like this motherfucker, huh? Let's see. Damn, they still looking for these niggas? Third woman accused of aiding these.
And new tonight, another person has been arrested for allegedly helping an Orleans Parish inmate escape after his escape. That is as we near a full week since that jailbreak.
And with no other escapees found today, we're combing through video evidence to track their movements. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Devin Bartolotta.
And I'm Sharice Gibson. 5 of those 10 inmates are still on the loose tonight as we learn more about a Slidell woman now in custody. She becomes the 4th to face charges.
That includes a maintenance worker at the jail and 2 other women also accused of helping after they made it past OJC's walls. Lily Cummings joins us in studio now with more on these breaking developments. Lily, what can you tell us?
Well, Devin and Sharice, less than an hour ago, we learned that 59-year-old Connie Whedon of Slidell was arrested. Officials say she was in contact with Jermaine Donald before and after the escape. They also believe she gave him cash and a cell phone. Right now, Donald is one of those 5 inmates still on the run. Meanwhile, bond was set today for 2 others arrested earlier this week. I spent time this evening looking deeper into their connection to the inmates they helped.
2 women have been arrested for helping Orleans Parish inmates after they escaped nearly a week ago. Our investigators learned 38-year-old Corvante Baptiste of Slidell is the aunt of escapee Corey Boyd. Investigators say Baptiste was in contact with Boyd via phone and social media and helped him get food while he was hiding. Boyd was recaptured Tuesday evening in the 1400 block of Iberville. We've now learned that the apartment he was found in belonged to his grandmother, but she claims she didn't know he was there. Boyd's grandmother has not been arrested and so far faces no charges. Meanwhile, 32-year-old Courtney Harris's connection to the 2 inmates she's accused of helping remains a mystery. State police say she drove them around New Orleans and was in contact with one over the phone. Court records show she helped Leo Tate and Jermaine Donald, who are still on the run. Now authorities say both women are booked in the Plaquemines Parish Jail. On Thursday, via video call, they learned their bonds: $1 million for Baptiste and $2.5 million for Harris. They face 1 felony count each of accessories after the fact.
And we are working to learn more about that latest arrest, but for anyone convicted of accessory after the fact, they could be fined up to $500 and face up to 5 years in prison. Sharice.
Lily, thank you. Meanwhile, for investigators, it is a race to sift through this evidence, hoping something will hold clues to where those inmates who are still out might be.
Yeah, from street cameras to residential surveillance, our Eleanor Tabone puts together a timeline of the movements we know so far.
Authorities say at 12:22 in the morning, inmates were seen jarring one of the jail sliding doors open. At 12:43 a.m., the inmates entered that cell. 10 inmates escaped through a hole in the wall behind a toilet. Pictures show what the cell looked like prior to the escape and what it looked like after. At 1 a.m, they were caught on camera exiting the Orleans Parish Justice Centre using an adjacent loading dock door. They then went down a road behind the OPSO building. At 1:19 a.m, they were seen scaling the fence along I-10. After breaking out of jail, scaling barbed wire fencing, jumping a concrete barrier and crossing multiple lanes of interstate traffic, the inmates then made city. A block of Barone Street in the CBD.
Yeah, cut right there.
You hear them say, cut right there. And they turn down an alleyway, heading away from Barone. Another angle shows the team walking away from the camera down the alley. The alley they're walking down ends at Plaza Tower. Just before 10 a.m, 9 hours after the escape, 2 inmates were seen on Project Nola's facial recognition cameras in the French Quarter. One of them, Kendall Miles.
Them niggas had clothes on them. They changed clothes and shit.
Around 11:30 a.m, surveillance shows Miles being apprehended after he was found hiding under a car at the Hotel Monteleone parking garage. 5 inmates are still on the run. If you see them, authorities say don't approach them. Instead, call
The light-skinned nigga gonna get the farthest away, I think.
911 or call Crime Stoppers. Eleanor Tabone, WWL, Louisiana.
Once again, 5 of Friday's escaped inmates are still on the streets tonight.
Break out of that Louisiana jail. And as of this morning, at least 5 of them are still on the loose. Nate Foy is back in New Orleans.
Good morning. So there are a lot of questions, and we learned that the crime scene be processed yesterday. You also mentioned there was another arrest. However, unfortunately, not one of the 5 remaining fugitives. Take a look at the mugshot here. This is Connie Whedon. She's accused of contacting fugitive Jermaine Donald, who's accused of murder, before and after the escape. Authorities say that she also sent him cash on a phone app. She's now the 3rd woman arrested after the escape. A source tells Fox the other 2 are girlfriends of 2 of the fugitives. Meanwhile, the DA talked about the mistakes made by the sheriff's office and the lack of communication immediately after the escape.
Time is of the essence in terms of catching escaped fugitives. If they escape at 12:30, immediately upon awareness of that, we need to make sure that the public is notified, the media is notified, because if that had happened, in all likelihood, all 10 of these individuals would be in custody by now.
Lawrence, how about this? The DA is also asking the sheriff and her employees to voluntarily submit fingerprints and DNA samples as they conduct a criminal investigation into the escape.
I see what you wrote there, Dolomite. I don't think they thought that much into it, but damn, that would be smart. Just bring along a couple of people that's going to get caught rather quickly, and the rest of them get away. You know, but you know, I think there's some motivation to it too. Some of these guys are accused of murder, so they're gonna have a lot more motivation than some of the others. I'm not sure what all of them are accused of, but that's rather interesting. I think once they break out, though, they all have a pretty strong motivation. 'Cause I think they get a long time if they get caught. Yeah, the one with the big glasses you talking about, Shredder? Yeah, we all saw her.
Hey, take a look. These 5 inmates remain on the run. 3 of them are murder suspects or convicts. There's a $20,000 reward for information leading to their arrest. And investigators believe that those 5 guys are still here in the city of New Orleans.
Damn, them niggas ain't left New Orleans yet? What the fuck?
They're confident. They say they have strong intelligence on them. However, it's been since Tuesday night that they've made an arrest on one of these escaped inmates. We'll send it back to you.
Tuesday, today's Friday, damn. Yeah, damn.
Thank you, Nate.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade. And I'm
Damn, that is fucking amazing. They ain't caught all these motherfuckers yet. What? Yo, is this a Carmelo Anthony update?
However, we're going to have a conversation about a stabbing that took place at the track meet. Austin Metcalf lost his life. Carmelo Anthony charged with murder, and
this was 16 hours ago.
Everything that happened across society and attention.
You never know which one is actually going to take off, and it kind of surprises me sometimes, the ones that just go viral instantly, or the ones that you may think will get a lot of attention that really don't. And so this one has definitely gone way past the borders of Frisco, past North Texas. It's a national story.
The Frisco Memorial High School community gathered tonight in grief after the stabbing death of a teenager at a track meet.
Another teenager, a student at Frisco Centennial, is now charged with the murder. 17-year-old Austin Metcalf's twin brother was at the track with him. His family says he died in his brother's arms.
And his brother was holding him, trying to hold the blood in.
Within the past hour, 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony has been released from the Collin County Jail after posting bond. A judge reduced his bond this morning from $1 million to $250,000. He's facing a murder charge after police say he stabbed another teenager, Austin Metcalf, while at a track meet at a Frisco high school.
I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to.
Yeah, so we want to try to dig into it a little more as we have this conversation, and we'll be joined later by Casey Stiegel and then Amelia Jones also, who have covered this intimately. But this story uncovered a lot about our society and where we are as people. We saw.
Yeah. Before I forget, does anyone want to? I wasn't sure how I want to do the live stream tonight, either OBS or StreamYard. If anyone wants to hop up on the panel, again, we're going to be at this spot tonight, right here, Buddies. And I'll show you the Instagram so you kind of see what the vibe is going to be like. So if anyone wants to jump up on the panel, let me know now so I know to do it by StreamYard. But if you're not interested in jump up on the panel, if no one's interested, then I'll just do it by OBS. That way, you know, I have the ability to change scenes and stuff a little bit more pleasing to the eye here. So this is where we'll be tonight. Here, look at this, some sister gals. We'll be here tonight. Yeah. This is in Columbia Heights, Northwest DC, hot neighborhood. We will be here tonight. Someone said StreamYard. Were you tired of OBS this time? Oh, I tried it. Oh, it was? Okay, yeah. Matter of fact, let me call this guy just to make sure he has the internet here. Where is their phone number? Let's see. Do they have a phone number here? Council. Do they have a phone number here? Buddies DC. Let me just go to the website. Let me call them. Yeah, I think we lost the internet or something. Something too. Let's see. Contact us. Let's see. It's his number here. Let me see if I call him. Man, we got a couple phone calls. Damn, let me call this guy. That don't sound that good. Let me hang up and call him back. Bluetooth off. Bluetooth on. I see Portia just joined. I saw a dead body this morning, Portia. Dead body. Don't know if he's 11 of 11. We've been on a killing spree here, one each day of the week. So he may have been 11 of 11. 11 days straight here. It's still time to double up. Still time to double up here.
Your call has been forwarded to voice.
All right. There's that. And let's see who this is. Just a renter. Okay. This person called me back. And we're gonna see who the fuck that is. Let's see who this is. Damn. What the hell is this? Shit. Yeah, that's smart. What's that supposed to call?
Please leave your message for
call somebody.
Lucky.
Yeah, I was supposed to call somebody. Somebody checking in today. Somebody checking out today. The fuck? So many people coming and going this time in the season. I have to make sure I'm keeping up with all of them, all the different channels here. Oh, yo, let me call this guy. 202-332. They should be opening shit. What is today? Friday? It's 4 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock. They open it 4 o'clock. Let me see if they open shit. Somebody should be there right now, right? Somebody should be there right now. By the way, is anyone gonna jump up on the panel tonight to ask some of these lovely ladies some questions here? Should be some lovely ladies there. I passed by there the other night, and they had a nice little crowd on the patio there.
You have reached 2023.
Can't believe these people didn't answer the phone. Yeah, we're gonna try to get them on the phone before I get out of here. Yeah, so does anyone want to hop up on the panel? There probably will be some lovely ladies tonight at the place. So if anyone is interested, let us know now so we can get you up on the panel. We'll know what to expect from the people joining. Let's see what's, yeah. Look at that. I look like I know that girl there. I can't do that. But yeah, so anyway, anyone gonna jump up on the panel tonight? Phoenix Fish, Dolomite. By the way, let me give a shout out to, who's it? Dolomite, Deborah Leonelli. Who else? I look it up. I'll go all the way back. Dolomite, Deborah Leonelli, the Broke Genius. My man, Broke Genius. He got 5 on there. Yeah, one joint at a time. Like, I swear I know that girl dancing in the front, though. So this is where we're going to be tonight. It should be a hot spot. Let me see if I can show you some more pictures before I get out of here. Buddies. Yeah. Buddies. Okay, let me see. Sister girl there. Okay, can't play that. Look, they have bingo nights there. It's going to be a good night here. What's up, Denterius? Yeah, it's going to be a good night here tonight at Buddies DC live stream. Yeah, it's going to be a good night. So if you have some questions, we're going to try to get us some lovely ladies up for an interview. It's probably be a little bit different crowd than we're normally accustomed to at Busmore and Poise. This is going to be kind of a, young, single out the mingle type crowd, I would imagine. by the looks of it here, Friday night. Let me see. I don't know if they have a schedule. Let me see if they have what they're doing tonight. Thought he'd make sure there's no private party or anything like that. Let's see, events. Let's make sure there's no private party, anything like that. Make sure no private parties tonight. Wednesday looked like it's bingo. Okay, so we're safe for Wednesday. What events? No events. Let's see. Events. Wednesday is bingo. Okay. Alright. Just want to make sure no private parties tonight. Grab your ugly sweater and pull up. I guess I have to be dressed halfway decent tonight. I gotta cut some grass before I go, so I may be a little shabby for this crowd. I had to put on all my charm. So this is where we'll be tonight. Buddies, DC, Upper Northwest, Columbia Heights. Buddies, black owned spot. Anyway, I gotta get ready to get out of here. So I'm gonna smoke a joint with you and then finish this last beer of mine. And so if you have questions or comments, I'll be looking at the chat while I'm rolling up this joint here. And that's why I'll be sitting right here. I'll be sitting like right outside there. So I'll be able to get people from the street and the bar. And I think this is these guys are from like some black college, maybe North Carolina A&T or some shit like that. The owners. So yeah, see North Carolina A&T there. So I think this is a black college, you know, owned bar. The guy went to a black college there, so this should be even more interesting considering. DC Run Crew Summer Mixer. Okay, so they have a running crew that has mixers there. Yeah. This is gonna be a good night. Good night. And they stay open a little bit later, so we might get a late night vibe going on. Depends on how it looks here. But we'll probably start streaming about 7. How does it sound to you guys? 7 o'clock? Sounds good? 7 o'clock? That sounds pretty good to me. 7 o'clock. Time to rock. 7 o'clock. Damn, do I have someone checking in today? I think so. I think I have one person checking in today. One person. Yeah, one person. All right. All right, let me get ready to smoke this joint, guys. Any questions? Anyone going to jump up on the panel tonight? Since we're going to be doing it on StreamYard, if anyone wants to jump up on the panel, this would be a perfect night to do it. I think it'll be good for interviews tonight. I may even bring an extra, if someone wants to jump up on the panel, I'll bring an extra set of headphones so the guests can hear you. Yay, nay. You got a few minutes before I get out of here. So you have to let me know, what do you think there? Anyone want to hop up on the panel tonight? We'll be at Buddy's. Oh, someone sent an anonymous cash app there. $20. Thanks. I'm not sure who sent it. It's anonymous there. Hey, thank you. Always much appreciated here. Someone saying CT's channel was demonetized. What? That's crazy, bro. I keep trying to tell people, bro, like, you don't have a business when someone can just demonetize you just at any given whim. You can't have a business like that, bro. Oh damn, we watching this shit.
We saw the court.
Go, stay in your places, or we're gonna kick you out.
And all of this that we're talking about now, all of this really went viral, didn't it?
It did. It took off. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about, and I know that you all have been on the receiving end of this, I don't know that I've ever covered a story before in my career where I've had such a high level of hate directed at myself,
At the reporters.
just for covering the story. But that video went viral. I tweeted it out, then it got picked up in the echo chamber, as I like to call it. And I mean, to this day, I still, am getting messages every now and again, from both sides.
Yeah, I
people
agree
that are
with you.
supportive of Austin Metcalf, people that are supportive of Carmelo Anthony, but it does show the level of vitriol that is out there when it comes to this story specifically.
Right. And if you're telling the story, just the facts as we know that in the middle of the road, you have both sides coming at you. Right. And we're in a different place in our society.
Like, that's why I keep trying to tell people, bro, like, man, like, listen, this shit kind of like, this kind of parallels Airbnb to me. Man, shit. I've been in the fucking hole of the Airbnb. Motherfuckers cancel on me. They tell me, shit, I owe them cancellation fees and shit like that. If you got dope, man, like, you got to get the middleman out of your business, bro. They just come and fucking suck up all your money on a whim. May not even be your fault. They may not even tell you what you did, so you can't even put any corrective measures in place. Oh man, like, I don't think the individual, I think that's what YouTube has over them, is that they are individual content creators. As I said, like, I put forward what I thought could be some solutions here. But, these people don't think, what I'm saying? Like, they get into just following the super chats. They'll just get in line, as opposed to thinking outside of the box. And I'm not saying all of them, but, a collective. They are creating the product, and then YouTube is taking them and saying, fuck that, we're gonna keep the money, man. These people crazy, man. Like, to go into like that as a business, unless you really got some fire ass content that is never gonna get outside of YouTube's guideline, but almost everyone does. And so you have to create, a platform for your message. If you feel like your message is good, to get outside of YouTube's sphere, because shit, they didn't get to be billions of dollars. They didn't get those billions of dollars by being fair to everyone. Shit, they're scalping heads, bro.
But let's talk about the numbers. The stories around the Frisco track meet stabbing. 4 of those stories are the top 10 stories on our website this year.
And that's saying something. I mean, 10 so far. But I think I texted you when that press conference happened. Welcome to the group, because so many.
Shit, if I were YouTube, I'd move the goalposts every morning too. Fuck these niggas. I'd make these niggas dance all around this shit. You know what I mean? Fuck that. And like the whole algorithm shit. When I first started off, I did maybe 2 streams on the algorithm. Showed you the back end of YouTube and shit. Like, and at that time, I ain't had that much content, so I couldn't really get all the statistics that YouTube would give me. But they give me all kind of fucking content, and it's like, yo, talk about this, talk about that. Hey, what do you want to talk about? We'll do this. We should talk about that. And basically, they're guiding these motherfuckers into a phone, which is probably very profitable for YouTube because they know people are going to send out super chats, and you end up dancing to their beat because they're more or less telling you what to dance to, what the song is going to be. It's just not a good business model. I just don't see it that way. I mean, Rumble, they say they don't do that, but Rumble can't build the audience, so people keep going to YouTube because YouTube is where the people are. But YouTube is, similar to Airbnb, man. They exact their pound of flesh from you, you know what I mean? Keep you dancing. That's one of the things, they have to keep you dancing. Like, I've developed so many algorithms, then they come back, people start gaming this shit, then they say, tweak the algorithm, boost this, boost that, change what gets returned by the, what gets searched most, what gets bought most. There's a million different things you can tweak that'll keep the people dancing and never let them get comfortable in a rhythm where they can really run a business. And that is that's the sweet spot there, when you can keep the people dancing on their toes while you're extracting revenue with your terms being in place. See, they don't have terms. Like with Airbnb, I don't have terms. I can adopt some of the terms that Airbnb provides. Yeah, I mean, you want to have Cancellation policy, you want strict, loose cancellation, whatever the hell they call it. But those are their terms put forward to me, and it's kind of the same thing with YouTube here. So you can't really build a business off enforcing someone or being imposed, someone else's policies being enforced upon your business there. Just my thoughts on that. Hit the like button, by the way, guys. See, I got to play the YouTube game at least with that.
People, and it just speaks to just how much people are on social media in a good and bad way.
Sure, of course, but I mean, more than 21 million
On TikTok?
views.
Yes.
I mean, that blew my mind.
Over videos, that's crazy.
When we were talking about the digital logistics of it, more than 21 million TikTok views of that particular story. So there is a high level of interest. I just think that it's just interesting how it sort of takes on a life of its own.
Oh, yeah.
Some of these,
I think that, Crowder, but, I don't know, is that louder with Crowder? I mean, he has a name, he has a Q rating of sort. And I bet you that, if he were on YouTube, he'd have 450,000. So he's missing out on marketing. He's a big enough name. Tommy's a big enough name where he can parlay his Twitter following and stuff like that. But I guarantee you, Tommy would love to be back on YouTube. He probably made more money that way. And what's interesting about it, Tommy, is that I saw him on one of those Twitter rants, chats, whatever the fuck they call them. Yo, he's almost a man without a space here. Like, he's trying to criticize black women. He's trying to carve a very narrow lane in criticizing black women. I'm gonna see if I can find one of his tweets. And then people were commenting back like, no, bro, it ain't just black women, nigga, it's all of y'all. We're not letting you just carve out a lane and just blame black women, nigga. It's all of you motherfuckers. Let me see if I can find this shit. And so, he's in a difficult spot here. Tommy Sotomayor, is that him? This must be him, man. Here's the tweet that I saw him. See, he keeps trying to talk about black women. Oh, I was going to talk about this. Oh.
Sorry, I'm so dramatic. Haley Summers, thank you for everything you are for me, for our son Aries. You were the first person to show me what love really meant. What sacrifice really meant. And I can't wait to spend the rest of this journey called life with you. So thank you. His wife.
Aww.
Because shortly after.
And nobody. The first time Ace and all of these outside about.
Anyway, there was some guy named Shai Gilgis, whatever the hell his name is, and I guess he's married to I know he's married to a white woman, and so he keeps talking about black women, and I just he's carving a lane that is gonna, I don't know, but there was one tweet that he sent out. Shai makes it 7 straight for international players. Oh wow, okay, this guy's not easy. Tommy, see, he keeps going to black women. I don't know. I don't think that's the best angle to go at things, but hey, what do I know? And let's see. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining. We'll see you later at the live stream here. Thanks again.